So today I am going to be talking about sterilizing my growing medium for starting seeds. So when I first started growing seeds, I had so many issues with flies for my indoor seed starts. It's less of an issue when you're starting seeds outside, which I am going to be doing probably most of them outside this time, but I'm still going to be sterilizing my growing medium. And so the reason you do this, or the reason you might want to do this, is there are little fly eggs present in soil. And by doing things like pouring boiling water over it, or baking it, or microwaving it, you're going to be killing off those problems. And I might need to get more water here, but so the approach I am doing this time is using the boiling water. And like I said, this might be too much soil for that. But what I'm going to do is just stir this around. And yeah, it looks like I'm going to have to get another kettle full of water and do this again. But ideally, using this method, you're going to heat up the soil enough to kill those eggs and minimize the fly issue, especially for indoor seed starting. And I cannot tell you how much of an issue it was for me, because those little flies, they not only will they lay more eggs in the soil and create more fly issues, but the flies, they attack the roots of your plants and they basically kill your seed starts. And I didn't know this when I first started out, so I was like, oh, what's a little bit of flies? And then there was just so many, and then very few of my seed starts were successful. And so I would get things like fly traps. And you might still want to get fly traps because you're probably not going to kill all of the eggs, but this will help with a lot of them. And just minimizing issues you're going to have going forward is the idea. And so what I've seen other people do is, after you pour your boiling water on here, you would cover this with like foil to lock in that heat, to kind of bake it up a little bit. And I'm going to do that here shortly. I'm just going to cover this with foil, because yeah, that's got some warmth to it. That's pretty good. But this is a pretty basic and simple way to basically sterilize those eggs and the potential for mold from your seed start mix. And I'm not using anything special. This is just a potting mix from the store. So yeah, that's some basics for preventing issues with seed starts, killing off those eggs, making your life a lot easier. Alright, so I've applied some more boiling water and then lined it with foil to trap in that heat, kind of bake it up. And ideally, this will kill off those fly eggs and potential weed seeds that might be in here, and even potential for mold. And hopefully, I'll be starting with a clean slate for seed starting. And some might be concerned that, like, oh, you're killing off the natural biological stuff in here. But when you're starting seeds, they don't need that yet. Once they've sprouted and have gotten big enough, you can transfer them to another medium and introduce things like fertilizers and mycorrhizae and stuff like that. But for starting seeds, they don't need it. So this is hopefully going to set me up. I think I'm going to be in a lot better position than I was last time without it. But just in case, I will show you the fly traps that I was using. So these are some yellow sticky traps. You can get them relatively inexpensive in a lot of areas. And while this method of heating up the soil might minimize flies, I am thinking they are pretty tenacious, and some of them are probably going to survive anyway. So for my indoor seed starts, I am probably still going to have some sticky traps out just to collect up those flies and minimize issues. So yeah, that was just some tips on sterilizing seed starting medium. I hope that helps minimize any issues you guys have or potentially will have. And the idea is that you're going to let this kind of bake in and settle. And I picked up this trick and some of the others from the Rusted Garden channel. He's got excellent garden advice. So if you want more stuff like that, you should check out his channel. He's very good, knows his stuff. I've learned quite a bit from him. I also picked up the stuff about the sticky traps from him. But yeah,